Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle-earth here. Today I wanted to recap our story from server 350 and some of the things that unfolded there. I'll be reading through the horn call posts that are made by Corin Dwarfbane. I'll link down his information down below the video, so if you want to look on the Discord and read these yourself, you are definitely welcome to do so. But they did 5 separate kind of update posts for our server 350 experience, at least to a certain point in the season, and I thought they were just fantastically written and captured a lot of the excitement that happened in this server. So I'm going to be reading through those with the maps that associate with each time frame, as well as putting text on the screen to kind of allow you to read through that as I read through it myself if you would like to. So I'm going to be sharing that in just 1 second, and at the end of the video I'm just going to share some more thoughts I had on my experience in this server this season and our future plans moving forward with this group of people in this server. So stay tuned, and that's coming right up. It has been 1 week since the start of server 350, and factions have begun spreading out in every direction. No true wars have been waged, but skirmishes are breaking out on several borders. The main power to rise in this Middle-earth appears to be Linden, which is represented by a large group organized by the prominent YouTuber Chisgul. This massive group of nearly 500 players has already taken 6 regions in the west. While the forces of Linden have a long way to travel to reach the One Ring, the speed and ferocity of their advance must have the other factions worried. However, in the east, a great evil is stirring. Rune has found new leadership under another prominent YouTuber, All Things Middle-earth, with his own large group seeking to create an empire to rival the elves of the west. While Rune's advance has been slower, it will be far easier for them to reach the One Ring. A climactic showdown is in the works, where the elves of Linden and the Easterlings of Rune are eager to prove their prowess over one another. But being on opposite ends of the map, no conflict will come between them for several weeks. And it is too early to know what other powers may emerge, what alliances may form, and what treacheries await. The runic superpower, led by All Things Middle-earth's group, achieved an impressive feat, being the first in the server to capture a 600 power keep. With such quick progress, it is uncertain who will stop the Easterlings from reaching the One Ring before anyone else. Several skirmishes have begun in the west as the Linden superpower, led by Chisgul's group, has expanded to border Angmar, Arnor, and Isengard. The elves of Linden have already taken Isengard's starting region of Enedwaith and appear determined to push further into the White Wizard's lands. In the north, Linden, Angmar, and Arnor stare at each other with unease, wondering who will strike first. 2 weeks have passed since the opening of server 350, featuring an inevitable clash between Chisgul's Linden group and All Things Middle-earth's Rune group. All bonds of fellowship broke between Linden and Arnor, leading to the elves conducting a massive invasion of the Númenórean kingdom. For the second time in the Third Age, Arnor has fallen and collapsed into a distant memory, its rangers now wandering the Forgotten Realm and ruins. After its conquest of the jewel that is the Mines of Moria, the elves of Linden have now conquered nearly all lands west of the Misty Mountains. While Linden's neighbors of Arnor, Angmar, and Isengard are not entirely destroyed, they will have a difficult time coming back from the sudden elven occupation of their lands. The elves may struggle to consolidate their new holdings, but are eager to make their push to the One Ring, avenging Celebrimbor himself. But a force is slowly looming in the east, ready to challenge the elven push. Rumors are swelling that Rune has gathered allies to meet the elves head-on, though it is not known how strong this alliance is. Rune has proven their might by being the first in the server to take a 1,000 power keep, long before the elves did. Having started on opposite sides of the map, the might of Rune and Linden are destined to meet in the middle of Middle-earth and engage in the largest battle since the Dagor Bragalach. From the lowest valleys to the highest peaks, all of Middle-earth is now embroiled in a great conflict between the elves of Linden and the Easterlings of Rune. Several battlefields have been stained with the blood of many thousands of elves, dwarves, orcs, and men. It is far too early to know who will come out on top, but the neighboring factions who have been caught in the middle of the war may make all the difference, and must soon choose which side to back or face their own destruction. The Great War continues between Chisgul's Linden group and All Things Middle-earth's Rune group. Alliances are now public knowledge. Lothlorien initially allied itself to Rune, but betrayed this alliance in favor of joining with their elven kin. Thus, the belligerents of the Great War are the United Elves and the Eastern Alliance. Throughout the entire Anduin Vale, the mouth of the Great River has been scorched by a mighty battle between the Elves and the Easterlings, now known as the Dagor Fudori, or the Battle of a Million Deaths, in which over 3 million soldiers of every race participated. The Easterlings attempted to hold the southern Anduin Vale, hoping to halt the progress of Lindon as they marched towards the One Ring. The elves committed to a unified push into the southern Anduin Vale, facing a valiant defense from Rune. Alas, after many heroic feats on both sides of the conflict, Rune lost South Anduin Vale and must now pull back into the east to regain their strength. Now having allied itself to Lindon, Lothlorien has been attacked by the dwarves of Erebor, launching an attack into the woodland realm and reclaiming part of their home in eastern Ered Mithrin. The dwarves hope to punish the Lorien elves for betraying the alliance. Deep in the desert, Rune made a pact with Mordor to recruit Mumakil, a mighty unit that can fell many elves. To prevent Rune from having access to these powerful creatures, Lindon swept through Gondor to capture their Mumakil camps. While the elves captured many Mumakil camps, Rune set up another incredible defense. This time, however, Rune was able to push back the elves, winning a major victory on the crossing in the middle of Nir Harad. Both sides of this conflict have accomplished many victories and suffered many defeats, but the Great War has just begun, and we might only know who the true winner is at the very end. All right, but that is the Horn Call post. I hope you enjoyed that reading of it. In just a second, I kind of want to give a final summary of where the map ended up, but I did want to say, if you are interested in joining us in Season 2 to play with our group here, there are spots available in our faction, so if you want to join us and join a fun group that's planning on sticking together for several seasons, you can do so now in Season 1. Well, there are about 10 days left until Season 1 ends, so if you want to join and kind of reserve your spot for that, you can do so now to make sure you have a spot with us in the following season. So if you want to do that, that's again server 350. There's information to the Discord and all kinds of stuff in the game, also in the video description as well. So if you want to get involved and figure out what the next season is going to look like, definitely do that. If you want to join an awesome group over here, that'd be a lot of fun. So anyway, with all that out of the way, this is how our server wrapped up. Now, obviously, this map could have finished a lot more dark blue towards the end of our season once we finish. Once Lindon had captured the ring and just proven that they were going to have the better coordination and larger player base. Again, having played with this group and seeing the just different levels of coordination they have, they were very, very prepared for anything we could throw at them, and it was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. But towards the end, we switched to a state of diplomacy, and Lindon had allowed our own faction, Rune, and 2 others to gather 15 regions so we can all benefit the most, because it doesn't really give them any benefit to finish with any more than 15 lands. So they were cool enough to let us do that so we can all move into the next season on a good foot. But again, this is kind of how things wrapped up. And now with Season 2 on the way, we've actually started hosting our own PvP type of events. So down here in the Dead Marshes, you can see, I'll zoom in a little bit. We had 5 different factions, several warbands or fellowships per faction sometimes, come into the Dead Marshes, a neutral land, and put their warband fortresses or fellowship fortresses there, and we did a kind of a last man standing brawl there. So we've been doing stuff like that, not as much as we wanted to, but just trying to put together what we can in our free time, and it's been a good experience that has really shown that this group is interested in having a good time and wants to play kind of long term. So again, if that sounds like something you'd be interested in joining, definitely check out the Discord. Obviously, you can just join us in game in server 350, but details in terms of what we're doing for the next season are going to be more in the Discord side of things. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Appreciate you checking it out, and I'll see you all in the next one.